Hey everyone, welcome to Neil Talks. My name's Neil, and it's time to talk Avatar: The Last Airbender, Season 3. I'm still kind of reeling after the finale of Season 2, and I can't help but think of this in Star Wars terms, not the least of which because Dave Filoni is involved with Avatar, but this just feels so. This whole Season 2 feels so much like the Empire Strikes Back of this show. It ends on such a down ending. Aang interrupts his training with the Guru, incomplete, so that he can rush back and save his friends, specifically Katara, who's been captured by Azula, who's infiltrated Ba Sing Se and has the king's confidence. Just before that, Katara discovered that Zuko and Iroh are living in Ba Sing Se as well, running a tea shop. We're so optimistic for Zuko's transformation. Maybe he's finally given up his desire to have his father restore his honor, and he can return home with the Avatar, reclaim his destiny. We feel like maybe he's finally been able to put all of that behind him with Iroh's counseling and guidance, steering him in a new direction, and maybe he's finding some inner peace. But of course, that all goes wrong. Azula manipulates Zuko enough to convince him that siding with her is the right thing. There's this great fight between Azula and Zuko versus Aang and Katara. Azula's also aligned herself with Long Feng and the Dai Li, and that ends up swinging the balance of the fight enough that Aang finally realizes his hang up from his training with the Guru. He realizes the only way is to remove his attachments to Katara. So in the middle of the battle, instead of saving Katara, he turns inward. He builds himself a crystal shelter. He unlocks his final chakra, and he begins transforming into the Avatar state. But this time it would be an Avatar state that he's conscious of being in, and he's able to control. And he doesn't quite get there because Azula attacks him while he's in this metamorphosis and kills him. He gets shocked by her blue fire or lightning in the back. He's falling to the earth. Katara rushes in to catch him, but Aang is broken. He's lifeless, and we're done for until Iroh shows up and fends off the attack of his his niece and his nephew long enough for Katara to escape with Aang. But they have to flee. They have to flee. So now Azula and the Dai Li and Long Feng have control of Ba Sing Se. The Earth Kingdom has fallen. The Fire Empire has struck back, and they have conquered the world. The world is under Fire Nation control now. And Aang appears dead, except Katara has this sample of water from the spring at the North Pole. She was going to use it to remove Zuko's scar and sort of symbolize his transformation, his evolution. But instead she uses it now to save Aang. And that's where we're at. The Fire Nation has conquered the world. The Earth Kingdom has fallen. Aang, for all intents and purposes, died and has been brought back to life. And now the Aang gang is on the run with nowhere to go, presumably because the Fire Nation has pretty much control of the entire world. There must be some pockets out there. We know that there are still Earth benders and water benders out there, but they're living in the swamps and they're controlling small waterways, but I feel like this changes everything now. We also have the Earth King with us as part of the Yang Gang, at least temporarily. I don't know how long that's going to stay, but that's sort of the state of affairs. And so we're set up perfectly for this season 3, where we have such a massive hill to climb. It's only a matter of months before we get the solar eclipse, which marks the one time the Fire Nation will be weak and susceptible to attack. And then shortly thereafter, we know the arrival of Sozin's comet has been heralded, and if the Fire Nation is in control of the world at that time, all is lost. So what do we do now? How do we regroup? How do we fight back? What's the next step? I just don't know. I'm super curious to see just how this season starts. Never mind where it's going to go over these last 20 episodes, but man, am I excited to dive into it. I think it's going to be an excellent season of television. And on that note, because it's the first episode of a new season of TV, like all my first episodes of new seasons, my full-length reaction is available for each and every one of you over on my Patreon. You don't need to be a supporter to go check it out, so check out the link down below. If you've never seen a full-length reaction before, it's a perfect time to check one out. If you've ever thought about supporting the channel, you can check out all of my full-length reactions. You can also get early access to all of my reactions. So consider helping us out over here at Neil Talks. But if not, I totally get it. Let's just enjoy a great episode of television. Let's jump into it right now, guys. This is episode 1 of season 3 of Avatar, and it's called The Awakening.
Previously on Avatar.
We've done it, Zuko. But the Fire Nation has conquered Ba Sing Se.
Yeah, so it was a lightning attack that took Aang down.
Father will welcome you as a war hero.
But I don't
Will
have the
he, though?
Avatar.
Will he,
What
though?
if Father doesn't restore my honor?
Yeah. Book 3, Fire. Oh. Aang has hair. Time has passed.
What happened?
Oh, where are we? We on a Fire Nation ship? Yeah.
He's awake!
This is not what it seems.
Wait!
We're friends, somehow. Is this...
Momo? Aang, you're awake! Are you sure? I feel like I'm dreaming.
Good to see you back with the living, buddy.
Sokka? Uh-oh, somebody catch him, he's gonna...
Okay, so how'd we get a Fire Nation ship?
I wonder what's changed. I wonder how I've changed.
I just asked if you were cold. I didn't ask for your whole life story.
Thanks, sis. You
Stop worrying.
evil, scary woman. What?
Why is everyone dressed this way? And why am I the only one who's completely out of it?
You got hurt pretty bad. I like your hair.
I have hair? How long was I out?
Everything okay?
We're fine, Dad.
Nice to officially meet you, Chief Hakoda.
It's an honor to meet you.
Great, great. Now you guys have finally met, so would you mind giving us a little privacy?
Of course.
Are you mad at your dad or something?
What? Not at all. Why would you say that?
Because you look super mad.
Let me just see if I can... I went down. I didn't just get hurt, did I? It was worse than that. I was gone. But you brought me back. You saved me.
You need to rest.
What is this, like a Vampire Slayer, where like the moment an avatar dies, a new one is created? So is there another avatar out there now?
Together they faced the Avatar, and the Avatar fell. They went to Ba Sing Se's Great Wall and brought them down.
Couldn't have done it without the Dai Li. So crazy.
Securing our victory!
Oh, it's that family we followed all of season 2.
Now the heroes have returned home! Your princess, Azula!
Is Zuko one of the heroes?
And after 3 long years, your prince has returned! Zuko!
The Earth King decided he wanted to travel the world in disguise, so he set off alone.
All right.
Well, not completely alone.
The King and the Bear. Okay, they're doing their thing.
We captured a single ship and made it our disguise.
Since then, we've been traveling west. We crossed through the Serpent's Pass a few days ago.
So what now?
We've been working on a modified version of the invasion plan.
It's Sokka's invasion plan.
Yes.
Is this why Katara's mad at her dad?
So we're planning a smaller invasion. Just a ragtag team of our friends and allies from around the Earth Kingdom. And the best part is, the eclipse isn't even our biggest advantage.
We have a secret. The whole world thinks you're dead. Isn't that great?
Tactically, it is an advantage.
That's terrible.
No, it's great. It means the Fire Nation won't be hunting us anymore. And even better, they won't be expecting you on the day of Black Sun.
No.
Oh,
I'll handle this. The Avatar is back.
no. No.
Hey,
No.
wait!
No.
Remember, they don't know we're not Fire Nation.
Keep up the disguise.
I hate not being able to do anything.
Hide the Sky Bison.
Hopefully you won't need to.
We're from the Eastern Fleet. We have orders to deliver some cargo.
Ah, I think this is a captured ship. Just stay quiet until we're safely across the ram. Then we'll sink this ship.
Oh, we can hear. Oh, metal bending comes in handy. She can basically just sink ships at this point. But I guess we're not killing. We're still the good guys.
I haven't seen Dad yet.
So what?
So, I didn't capture the Avatar.
Who cares? The Avatar's dead. Unless you think he somehow miraculously survived.
Does he? Oh, yeah, he knows about the water.
There's no way he could have survived.
But the thoughts planted in his mind, he's not certain. We're just... Man, Toph's useful in a fight. Okay, just start a massive whirlpool? Steam pool? Man, they leveled up.
I can't just stand by and do nothing.
Hey, no! You're still hurt, and you have to stay secret. Just let us handle this.
Fine.
We have to sink that ship. We just need to send Toph to that ship
Things couldn't get much worse.
and have her Whoa! Serpent's
The
Pass.
universe just loves proving me wrong, doesn't it?
Nature helps. A little Deus Ex Machina never hurt.
Thank you, the universe.
Thank you, the universe. Indeed.
Here, tie this around your head. It'll cover your arrow.
I'm not going out if I can't wear my arrow proudly.
I think I understand why being a secret bothers you so much. You don't want people to think you failed.
But the problem is, I did fail. And now the Earth Kingdom has fallen for good. I don't want you or anyone else risking your lives to fix my mistakes. I've always known that I would have to face the Fire Lord. But now I know I need to do it alone.
Is there anything you need?
I need to redeem myself.
Maybe a hug.
I need my honor back.
Oh, man, the parallels between these two. They both have so much identity tied up in what other people think of them. Hello, Fire Lord Ozai.
I brought you some food.
He's gone already?
Oh no.
Is he just going straight to the Fire Nation? He hasn't even healed. He didn't even take Appa.
You have redeemed yourself, my son. Welcome home.
We finally see his face. Wow. Come on, Aang. You can't even fly.
He has this ridiculous notion that he has to save the world alone. That it's all his responsibility.
Maybe that's his way of being brave.
It's selfish and stupid. We could be helping him, and I know the world needs him, but doesn't he know how much that we need him too? How can he just leave us behind?
You're talking about me too, aren't you?
How could you leave us, Dad? I understand why you left. I really do. So why do I still feel this way?
Easy to forget that these are still just kids.
You slayed the Avatar.
Which he...
What did you hear?
Azula told me everything.
Azula's giving him the
moment of
credit.
truth.
Huh. Azula's giving him the credit. Interesting. Sure, let's go windsurfing. Oh. Has he lost the glider?
I figured if I gave you the credit, you'd have nothing to worry about. And I was happy to share the glory.
You're lying. You have another motive for doing this. I just haven't figured out what it is.
Please, Zuko. What could I possibly gain by letting you get all the glory for defeating the Avatar? Unless somehow the Avatar was actually alive. All that glory would suddenly turn to shame.
Yeah.
Sleep well, Zuzu.
Oh, she's smart. I'll give her that. Wilson!
I failed. Goku?
Oh.
You haven't failed, Aang.
I'm letting the whole world down.
If anyone is to blame for the state of the world, it is me.
Yeah.
You inherited my problems and my mistakes.
I don't know.
You already saved the world. And
Wow.
you'll save the world again. But you can't give up.
You're right. I won't give up.
Now we're surfing! Okay. Fire Nation. Presumably. It's just a volcano, but sure looks Fire Nation. Huh? Where'd Momo come from? Oh. We found him.
You're okay.
I have so much to do.
I know, but you'll have our help.
Oh, it's your glider.
If someone saw it, it would give away my identity. It's better for now that no one knows I'm alive.
Let's see him wrap that bandana around his forehead. Wow, he's getting rid of the glider. Very symbolic. I feel like, yeah, there we go. I was about to say, that should be bursting into flame. All right. Great start to a new season. We're not straying away from the complexity and the emotional complexity that we established, especially last season, I think. These aren't simple decisions to make now. We're dealing with some complex feelings. All our characters are. You know, we spend so much time with the Aang gang, our main characters, that it's easy to forget that these are like 13, 14, 15-year-olds. And, you know, they're going through some tough times, even if they weren't dealing with the Fire Nation and the imminent end of the world. So, man, Aang's got this massive guilt for having this sense of failure because he lost Ba Sing Se. He doesn't want anyone else to get hurt or killed, so he strikes out on his own. But we got past that. We worked through that this episode. He understands the merit now in keeping his identity hidden. It is a tactical advantage that the world thinks the Avatar is dead, but I do wonder if this is like a Buffy the Vampire situation, The moment Buffy died, a new Slayer was not born, but sort of activated. And even if Buffy came back to life, there's now another Slayer in the world. That happens at least twice in the series. No spoilers. But is that the same here? Aang died. I think that's clear after this episode. It sure felt that way at the end of last season, but I think it's clear now that he died, and it was only Katara and this water from the North Pole, the spirit water, that brought him back. And so if he died, does that mean there is another Avatar activated out there somewhere right now? Is that going to come into play? Or am I just barking up a completely wrong tree? I don't know. Don't tell me. Don't tell me either way. But it's an interesting idea. I like that we're hiding our identity. We're on a Fire Nation ship that we've captured, and yet you got to wonder about that other ship, the other Fire Nation vessel that they came across and was attacking them. If there's any survivors from that ship, the word will get back to the Fire Nation that there's a bunch of rebels impersonating a Fire Navy vessel. So, yeah. But we're leaving that ship behind. Sokka and Katara's dad will stay there. We'll reconvene with him just before the eclipse, but it seems like we're back to status quo, as it were. The Aang Gang, Appa, Momo, training and figuring out a way to be successful when we inevitably face Fire Lord Ozai, which will be presumably the end of the season. It feels like that's the inevitable conclusion of this series, is that conflict there. I like that it was completely unnecessary, I think, plot-wise, to have this storyline about Katara and her conflicted feelings about her father. She's still dealing with this sense of abandonment when he left 3 years ago to fight the Fire Nation, leaving Sokka and Katara alone at the village with Gran. And Katara probably subconsciously has been dealing with these feelings of abandonment ever since, and those just all poured to the surface when Aang left, when he abandoned her as well. So I say it's unnecessary, but I'm so glad they did it. It just makes Katara an even more complex character than she already is. And I like that we're just sort of dealing with this emotional complexity because we can, and because it's interesting. I love storytelling like that. It doesn't all have to advance the plot. Sometimes it can just be about character growth. And there's a different kind of plot in character growth that we're definitely seeing in this show, and isn't necessarily typical of kids' cartoons. But yeah, let's talk real emotional complexity. Let's start talking about Zuko, because he remains the character I am most interested in. I've said this before, he's not my favorite character, but man am I intrigued by him. Man am I fascinated by his journey, and I'm super curious to see what happens now that he's gone home. He is a hero, but Azula's like still playing him like a fiddle. She's steps ahead on the chessboard, and the moment she realized there's a possibility that Aang still lives, she was more than happy to pass the praise of killing the Avatar on to Zuko when she spoke to her father. So now Ozai thinks Zuko is this honorable, brave hero who defeated the Avatar. But if and when Aang makes his presence known again, then once again Zuko faces shame, potential banishment. Maybe his other eye is going to get torched. Like, it just feels like we're starting the cycle all over again. And is this really what Zuko wanted? Is, like, Zuko dreams of returning to this. His dream of going home is really a dream of going back into his past, when his mom was still there, when he was still a younger boy, when these happy times, this nostalgia that he's been clinging to ever since he was banished. And we can't go back in time. We can't return to our childhood. We can't return to happier times. We can go to the place those happier times happened and hope that we find happiness. But I think it's clear that that's certainly no guarantee. And now it feels like Zuko's kind of trapped. His sister absolutely has the advantage that she's smarter than him. She's less emotional, she's more tactical, she's still their father's favorite, and she's setting him up for a fall if necessary. Everything is just strategic in her mind, and I'm super curious to see the storyline between those two, because she's manipulating him every step of the way. It all just feels like it's there to mess with Zuko's mind and to manipulate him and to make him feel like he has an ally in her. But I think it's clear to him and to us, the audience, at this point, he does not have an ally in his sister. Theoretically, I assume Zuko would be next in line to the throne, but Azula wants the throne. And so, watch your back, Zuko. This isn't going to end well for you if you don't. Now, the one character we didn't see this episode that I need to know what's going on with is Iroh. And it sounds like he was captured based on the conversation Ozai and Zuko had. So I'm assuming Iroh's imprisoned somewhere in the Fire Nation. But yeah, jeez. What's his state of mind? What's his state? Like, what? I could totally see the Aang Gang freeing Iroh and Iroh joining them temporarily, but we do need fire training. I mean, isn't that ultimately what we need? We need a firebender to teach Aang. He can't be the Avatar until he's mastered all 4 elements, and right now he's stuck on 3. He's still training earthbending and waterbending, but yeah, he needs fire training. And Iroh just seems like the natural master for him for that. So we have to find him. We have to free him. We have to start that process. But if Iroh is freed, I mean, I could totally see him deciding that training Aang is the best course. But I could also see that he may be consumed with the idea of saving his nephew, of rescuing Zuko from this new, really gnarly situation that he's in back at home. So I look forward to getting into that, and I have to assume that that's coming. But this show does subvert expectations. This show does go in directions you don't expect, and even when it goes in a direction you expect, it tackles that plot in a very different way than you thought it was going to. So I envision that road, that mile marker on our road this season, but how we get there, I don't know. And what happens when we get there, complete mystery to me. So I'm excited for the trip, though. That's where I'm at right now. We've had a really strong start to the season. Can't wait to see where it goes from here. Really excited for you guys to join me on the ride through this final season. And man, until next week, everybody. Take care. Stay healthy. We'll see you soon. Cheers.